Like literally, my intuition is so spot on that I don't even care what the truth is, because if I feel it, that's what it is. So if you could please like the video, share the video, subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. Welcome to episode 102 of Just Sipping Coffee. I am Boss Man Tan, your host, and this is the unscripted, unedited version of my life and realizations as I'm just sipping coffee, minding my business. This episode, who the fuck do I think I am? I will share with you all who I think I am, how I came to be this person, why do I think the way I think, all of the things. And I am so excited to take you all on a journey with me through my life. Prepare yourself, it might get a little deep and dark, but we're going to come back out of it. We going to find the sunshine again, okay? Because I had a pretty rough childhood. I was a little awkward girl. I was teased a lot. Now looking back, I know that it was my light, right? I hate to bring in biblical stories, but I just finished Vacation Bible School, and we all know the story of Joseph in the Technicolor coat and how he had brothers who hated him because his dad favored him, and they threw him in a pit and sold him into slavery. And he had this gift where he could interpret dreams, and him interpreting dreams for the king allowed him to become the ruler of Egypt at some point. And those same people, his brothers, had to come to him for help, and he had to forgive them. Well, think of me as him, okay? Because as a child, I was teased, I was fat, I was ugly, I was awkward, even though I was smart and I was beautiful. I was a little fat though, but all in all, they ain't had no business talking about me because them hoes wasn't cute either, okay? But anyway, those are the things I remember from my early years. And though I feel like I had a very nice childhood, it wasn't really until I got to college and I met people from different backgrounds and different walks of life that I realized that everybody didn't grow up in a loving home, number one. Number two, I had a little silver spoon. Now my spoon went all the way silver. It might have been silver plated, but I had a mom and I had a dad who both worked. Back then, I would say my family was the epitome of middle class. I didn't want for anything. And it took one of my friends, it was a guy friend, who was hustling in school. And yes, hustlers go to school. But I don't know what we were talking about, but he was like, dude, you can literally call your daddy. I didn't see you call your daddy for $50 and he sent it to you. He was like, I can't do that. That's why I'm doing this. He was like, I need you to chill out. This ain't for you. And that made me understand, like, everybody did not have the same privileges in me as I did. There were things. Hell, my daddy, I can't tell you how many cars he bought me. He was a habitual car trader. So when I say plated, your girl didn't have a Benz or even a drop top Mustang, you know, but I had a car. He made sure I had a car. I kept a car. And don't let something go out, the catalytic converter or whatever. He was trading it to give me something else. Or if mama got tired of her car, he'll come get it until I get her something else type thing. So I had a pretty sheltered childhood. My parents were married my whole life. My dad's only children were the children he had with my mom. That is rare, right? But it was something that I look back on and I smile and I'm grateful for, especially because I know that other people didn't have that. But not only did college open my eyes to that, it also opened my eyes to some more harsh realities. The same guy who I can remember teasing me in the 5th grade because I was fat was the same guy who raped me freshman year of college. Oh, you didn't like me then, but you want me now? Type thing, you know? And to him, it wasn't a big deal. And I feel like, I'm going to take a tangent for a minute, but I feel like he may not have understood that it was rape. But number one, if I said no, that's rape. If I didn't ask for it, that's rape. If I kept telling you to stop, that's rape. But the fact that I have to see this guy on social media, I have to see this guy at our fucking class reunions, it's a trauma that I'm dealing with. And I found out through a lot of money and a lot of therapy that it is what opened me up to having relationships that were dependent on codependency. Like, my marriage became a codependent relationship. I was dependent on that person to feel good. He was the reason I wanted to look good. He was the reason I wanted to, and that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. But I had to realize who I was. I had to realize who cared for me and who didn't. I had to not care who didn't care. I had to also not care about the people who cared for me when I was making certain decisions. Like, I had to learn to live my life for who I was. And that was the beginning. That was the beginning. That harsh, traumatic experience freshman year that has a whole lot of tentacles. Like, why I was in the location I was in, why I was even vulnerable for him to be able to do that to me. Friends or whatever that didn't do certain things. Like, all of these things, even 20 years later, I'm still thinking about. All of that was just the beginning of a long run of me dealing with cheating ass niggas. Okay? Please don't take any offense, but it's two types. You got hoe ass niggas, you got cheating ass niggas, and you got good niggas. Okay? I might say that a lot. I ain't talking about one specific person. All of y'all done probably been a hoe ass nigga in your life. I done been a hoe ass nigga recently, but we're not gonna talk about that. I done changed my life. But anyway, that started a long run of codependency for me, and me accepting certain things from people that I didn't want to or should not have accepted. That's all I'm trying to say. It was also the start of an addiction. I am grateful to my therapist and the years of work that I've done that I can now say that I have a problem. Hi, my name is Tan and I got a problem, okay? It presents itself as a physical problem, but it's more so a emotional or affection need. Let me say that. But that traumatic experience led to me looking for companionship in people that I ain't had no business looking for it in. And of course that put me in a whole lot of circles that I probably shouldn't have been in. But it also made me make friends in certain situations where I wouldn't have made them at. When you go to an HBCU, I attended Southern University, go Jaguars, in Baton Rouge. You meet people from all walks of life. And the people that I met, if I had not been in that headspace, if I had not had that trauma, I probably wouldn't have met them. So I am really big on everything in life happens for a reason. And so even though that was a dark place for me in my life, I needed it to put me in certain situations, to interact with certain people, to learn certain lessons. And for it all, I can say I'm grateful. However, I told you all, everybody done been a hoe ass nigga, and even me. If a dude can do it, I can do it. That's the kind of mindset I was in even up into probably 2-3 years ago. Like, you know, if you can do it, I can do it better type thing. That is not ladylike, but that is exactly where I was. That's the truth. But even through all of that, even through the trauma, even through learning different cultures and different people, I graduated top of my class from Southern as an electrical engineer. I started a job at a paper mill right after in central Louisiana, and that was my first exposure to, they called them Geechee when I got there. I didn't know what the hell they was. Who is these people that look like they from Hawaii or somewhere? And why they look like that? Are they white? Are they black? I quickly found out because I met one and I fell in love with him. But they crazy, just not all y'all, just some of them crazy. But Geechee people are Creole, French, Indian, a little bit white, a little bit of black. I met my husband when I started my first job right out of college. My then husband, he's not my husband anymore. But I met the same guy. I married the same guy that I had been meeting over and over and over again in college. It's crazy. Even after I decided I didn't want to be married anymore and whatever, I kept meeting the same guy until I recognized that you're repeating patterns, right? Anyway, I snapped out of it. And I am advancing myself not only professionally, but personally. I'm opening my mind. I'm understanding what good feels like. And if it don't feel good, I don't want it. Like, literally, my intuition is so spot on that I don't even care what the truth is. Because if I feel it, that's what it is. So, shout out to all the whole ass niggas I done met over the last 10-15 years. I appreciate you all because I can guarantee you it won't be another one. Okay, I see you all coming from a mile away. This is what I'm on. Either you respect it, you hear it, and you want to do it, you want to get on board, and you can get out the way. Okay, back to who I am. I spent a lot of time, I spent a lot of money after I separated from said husband in 2021, January 2021. I spent a lot of time in counseling. Your girl had a counselor and a psychiatrist and the primary all trying to figure out how to get my mind right at the same time. Okay, I did that for 2 years until I decided that I wanted to help myself, until I decided I wanted something different. I learned a lot in that process. That's how I learned that a bitch was codependent, right? I had to see that. I had to see what that looks like so that when I see those things now, I can correct myself. I'm proud of who you see today. I'm proud of the girl who can sit here and tell you those dark stories from college, or how it's my fault that I let that man treat me like that for that long. You know, I'm proud of me because I wasn't able to do that before. And I'm proud that now the person that I am personally somewhat matches who I am professionally. So, why am I Boss Man Tan? I told y'all I was an electrical engineer. Well, most of my jobs, starting since I graduated from college, I have managed crews of men. I have been on teams where there has been no other females in the room. And so I have come to be able to identify, I guess, of sorts, with the male persuasion. But anyway, my name is Taisha Tanye. I am originally from Louisiana. I work in manufacturing with all men, and so sometimes I forget that I'm not at work, and I have conversations as if I'm sitting in a room full of men having unnecessary, unneeded banter, right? But that's where Boss Man Tan came from. All of the guys that work for me usually call me boss. or boss lady. But there was a time, everybody knows Kevin Gates, and he had his wife Drika. I don't remember what year it was, but at one point she was calling herself, or he was calling her boss man Drake. And the guy, my husband, ex-husband, he swore he was Kevin Gates. And so in my head, I'm going with it. We on the story. And so that's boss man Drake and I'm boss man Tan. And the fact that I think I'm a man sometimes at work anyway, it kind of just fit and it kind of just stuck. And so though now I'm in my soft girl era and ain't nothing manly about me, the name stays. Like Tina Turner said in court, I'm keeping the name. I like it. It rhymes with a whole lot. It matches my persona. So that is where Boss Man Tan came from. I remember there was the fuzzy slides phase. That was a long time ago. Maybe 2020, 2019. The slides with the fur on them. I had me a pair and I had Boss Man on one hand and Tan on the other. We've been rocking ever since. When I was married, there was certain things that I did to feel like I was a part of something that I might not have agreed with. But it taught me things, just like every other life experience. And it made me confident in myself today. It is such a freaking coincidence that not only am I not married to dude no more, but Drake done told Kevin to get the hell on too. You know, so confirmation, synchronicities. My girl gone on about her business and I'm gone on about mine as well. You heard me? That's who I am. Boss Man Tan, professional turned personality, and I look forward to you all getting to know me more. I look forward to sharing more of my life experiences with you guys. But anyway, let me go and see what else I got to do today. Thank you for joining me for episode 102 of Just Sipping Coffee while I'm minding my business. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you back here for the next episode of Just Sipping Coffee.